This is 5 on 20 News, where the news is live, but the newscaster is pre-recorded. I'm Joel Foster, and I'm coming to you not so live from the Creative Tucson studios in downtown Tucson. Let's begin with local headlines. A former reporter for the Russian propaganda outlet Sputnik revealed how tightly controlled the organization is under President Vladimir Putin. Andrew Feinberg was the White House correspondent for Sputnik, but was fired on May 26th because he claimed that he refused to push what he called fake news. Feinberg says that he was only able to ask pre-approved questions at White House press gatherings and was urged to ask leading questions. One question in particular was one involving the chemical weapons attack in Syria, where Feinberg was expected to deliver a question that implied that the attacks never happened and that it was faked by the US and its allies. But he says that the final straw was when Sputnik asked him to investigate the Mark Rich case, which he felt was done to get the US off the trail of Russia in the case of the leaked emails of the Democratic National Committee. If you remember, Mark Rich worked for the Democratic National Committee and was murdered back in August. This became sort of like conspiracy theory, and Fox News, Breitbart, places like that. Until Fox News ordered Sean Hannity to stop reporting about it. All right, back to the story. Feinberg cited that the difference between Sputnik and other state-backed news organizations like Al Jazeera and the BBC is that they are state-sponsored, whereas Sputnik is, quote, state-controlled. All right, let's move on to local headlines now. Tucson Mayor Jonathan Rothschild was one of 187 mayors who signed a letter to the White House Saturday morning that restated their support for the Paris Agreement, regardless of the president's action. Last week, the Trump administration decided to pull out of the Paris Climate Agreement, which seeks to lower carbon emissions worldwide in order to battle global warming. The letter was also signed by the mayors of Phoenix and Flagstaff and says that, quote, "We will intensify efforts to meet each of our city's current climate goals." This comes a month after city council members in Tucson, Mesa, Flagstaff, Surprise, and Tempe signed an open letter from the National League of Cities to urge the president to stay in the agreement. As you can tell, the president took it to heart. The University of Arizona was named the most beautiful college campus in Arizona by BuzzFeed. The U of A beat out other Arizona colleges such as Arizona State, Northern Arizona University, and Grand Canyon University. As this is BuzzFeed we're talking about, they felt the need to include a fun fact that the U of A also has the best-looking student body in the nation. Arizona Representative Tom O'Halloran called for a green policy where U.S. workers are trained for jobs that will help in the fight against climate change. In an interview with KTAR, O'Halloran said that he wished that Congress had more time to review the Paris Climate Agreement and criticized the deal because it allowed the U.S. to stop complying since the deal was non-binding. O'Halloran didn't say whether he definitively supported or rejected the agreement, but said that American workers should come first when it comes to the future of the economy. He said that Congress needs to develop a strategy to train workers for the future of jobs, which will likely involve the same green technologies that might be taking a hit because the Trump administration decided to exit the Paris Agreement, which could be a problem. This weekend, a group began. Oh, that's the next story. This weekend, a group began their annual 75-mile trek to Tucson through the Sonoran Desert in support for the migrants that have to travel that same route. The Migrant Trail Walk is now in its 14th year and has been growing every year since. Organizer Olivia Mena says that the walk is a way to, quote, remember and think about all the men, women, and children who have died making this treacherous journey. The walk begins at Sasabe, Sonora, and ends in Tucson. Good luck to you guys. All right, this was Joel Foster with 5 on 20 News. Next up, we're going to show a clip from Cultivate Tucson, which was open market for crafts and different crazy cool arts in the area, right on 6th Ave. We've got some interviews and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's coming up right now.
There, Joel?
It was a fun time. It was great. Actually, it was a packed house. People were having a good time in there. They have it, what is it, twice a year?
Oh.
They have it twice a year. They hold it at Cultivate Tucson. We had a tent there as well, Creative Tucson. We'll definitely be at the next one, so next Cultivate, seek us out. Talk to us. All right, enjoy.
Nice job.
Yeah.
from Tucson or live in Tucson currently.
We identified sort of a gap in the market here and wanted to feature local talent. There really wasn't anyone doing unique pop-up events with only local vendors, and so we really just wanted to highlight what we had in Tucson and what's flourishing here, and like sort of showcase emerging spaces and emerging vendors and nonprofits.
I'm passionate about not putting stuff in the landfill. I'm passionate about making products that aren't disposable, and I'm really passionate about the local environment. I actually appreciate this because it's local, and I'm looking at the bigger picture. If you buy one of a million units from China, it gets shipped over here in a container. That container sits in a yard in some port somewhere, and all of that material is disposable. And what I want to do is repurpose the material and turn it into some unique gift that's personalized for the recipient.
It's important to be able to showcase your work, first of all, because there's so much talent, especially here in Tucson. So it's really nice for people to see everything that's created right here.
Everybody that's at this event is awesome Tucson people. Every one of these people works very hard. So the way it's curated and who's picked is done very well.
This is all reclaimed. This was a log cabin. This was a log, part of somebody's cabin. It was built probably about 1890, 1880. It gives a lot of people a way to express themselves, which I think is wonderful.
I'm from Chicago, but I just love the energy and the creative community here in Tucson, and really meeting Kristen was sort of the impetus for both of us to kind of think of a way to bring the community together. The percentage of sales from each vendors will go to either the Spotlight nonprofit or a nonprofit of their choosing.
All local though.
All local, yeah.
Oh, so when you buy here, your dollars are just, I mean, they're supporting the vendors, the artists, the makers, and also our local communities.